afternoon and welcome to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne Casdia. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower others to fulfilling a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life, so you can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. And today we are lucky to once again have on Craig Colasanti, our radical change coach. How are you?
I'm well, and thank you for having me again, Lori. It's great to see you. Your beautiful, smiling, shining face.
Oh, look at you with your beautiful, shining, smiling face. Listen, I'm so excited because you just got back from a very important event, right?
I did.
Let's talk about this. This is so good.
I just got home from Sedona, Arizona. I was there on a mastermind retreat with 5 other coaches that I did a year-long program with, and our mentor, Dr. Mary Oz. And we did 8 days of light energy work. Nice. And it just, I can honestly say it was life-changing. Life-changing. We did some vortex tours. We did Jeep tours. We took a nice horseback ride through a valley. It was just, it was amazing. The energy in that area of the country is just off the charts, you know. So
why do you think that? Is it because of the population, or is it because of history, historics, or is it because of the earth?
I think it's the earth. The Native Americans lived there a couple of hundred years ago, and they were drawn to that area. And, you know, they're amazing energy workers. And they actually found places in the mountains that felt different. You know, like the energy was different. And we did a couple of hikes on these mountains. We went to 4 different vortex areas, and each area had a different energy. And even if you're not connected with energy and you don't really get it, you feel different. Like,
I get that.
We were with one of the women that was with us was a culinary arts student that came with us to cook for us for the week.
Nice.
So
should have asked my son.
Exactly. I just found out that your son was
this is true.
We could have had a sommelier.
There you go. Well, he's a culinary and som, so you would have had a best of both worlds.
Perfect combo.
Wine in the vortex, not a bad gig.
Right. So this young woman who was with us, she understands energy and things like that, but she doesn't do a lot of the work. And she couldn't believe the differences she felt at each place where we were like in tune with it. And our guide had, you know, we had done some Kundalini yoga on the mountain and stuff like that. And then we did some like energy healing through drums and stuff like
drum
that.
work. Yeah.
So it really was life-changing and amazing. And I honestly put out to everybody, if you get a chance to go there just to see what it's like, if you're into this type of stuff, it's truly the place in our country that I feel is the strongest with the energy. And even the plant life I was telling you before, you know, you see a tree in the vortex area and the tree's trunk is twisted, and even the roots coming out of the mountain are twisted. And there's no way that can happen in a average setting, would you say, where you walk 2 minutes away from that area and the trees are straight up and down. Right. So it's not a wind or anything blowing in there. It's an energy. And it was mind blowing.
No, I get it, because I think I was telling you that when I went to Australia with my son, I went to this beach and it was magnificent. Something had me take my shoes off, and the sand is so soft there. It was just like walking on powder. It was amazing. But the feeling I got, I can't put it into words. But I believe that was the beginning of my journey. That was absolutely the beginning of my recognition, I should say, of my journey, because I've always been on the journey. Right. But it was really a point of a major change. So when you said life-changing, that was my point of life-changing. Yeah. And ever since then, I've just, you know, the whole journey has escalated through awareness. And a lot of it is we sleep through our lives. And I've been awake ever since then.
That's great.
And that awakeness is, it provides this energy that you can't even, like, we're smiling and you don't even know why you're smiling. You're just smiling because there's no reason not to.
Well, it shows, because I've met you how many times now, and every time I'm around you, I can sense your energy is just, you're glowing, you know, you're radiating. You're like a woman who has met a wonderful man, let's say. You know what I mean?
Foreshadowing.
But yeah, I get it. And it was just nice to, you know, I do a lot of energy work, and I live here on Long Island, and I do quite a bit of it. But to be in that setting where it's all new age energy, everybody out there is new age, doing all these new, you know, different programs into energy and stuff. And it's just so nice. You know, they're really into nature, really into the earth. They care about everything. they don't, any animals have the rite of passage there and things like that. So it was just amazing.
It's a mutual respect. And I think we had lost that in our culture.
Definitely.
In America. And I don't see that when I travel.
Right.
And I want to just go back to something you said, though. Yeah. I cannot put into words, like I said, that feeling I got in Australia. Can you try to articulate for the listeners what was life-changing? What was it that was life-changing with that energy that you felt?
Yeah, that's a good question because, when I first got there to Sedona, I had felt something. And that to me, I can't explain. That I can't put into words what that was. But when I went to the vortex areas, I can explain it. The first one we went to, you just felt really grounded. You felt one with the earth, like you really were part of the earth. We did some light energy work where we were meditating and just connecting to the center of the earth. And you felt so grounded. You just really did. That's the only way I can put it into words. It's just a groundedness. And then we went to the second vortex area. It was a releasing place, a releasing vortex. So we laid down on the mountain and we did the drum energy work. And as the guide came over you and drummed over you, you felt the vibration of all your stuff, let's say, all your negativity, anything, just melt away. And you felt lighter. You almost felt like you were floating. Here I am laying on red rock, not the most comfortable thing. And I felt like I was floating on a cloud because all that negativity just sunk into the earth. And it's a place where the earth accepts that negativity and gets rid of it for you. So it was really a sense of overwhelming peace.
I was going to say, it must be peaceful.
The peacefulness, the calmness you feel in those areas was just, I've never felt that way before in my life.
Well, that's why you'll see a lot of yoga, including like Kundalini. That's why you chant. It's the vibration of the chant that helps do the releasing. Right. And that vibration of the drums, that's why music is used a lot through a lot of the different yogas, because again, that vibration, we vibrate. Right. So our energy is that vibration. We just don't see ourselves that way.
Well, we don't. And when we were out there, my mentor was teaching us, we're 96% energy and only 4% mass.
Right.
So we concentrate on the 4%. We really forget about the 96%. Yeah. So when you're talking about vibration, you're 100% right. And when you get rid of all those negative vibrations and you begin to vibrate at a higher energy level, life is really, really good. Yeah. Really joyful, really peaceful. And I think people forget that,
And I think I found that the noise in my head has gone away. And I actually discovered I was at my house this weekend and I had nothing on, no radio, no TV, no background noise. No. I was perfectly content with it. The sound of me chopping vegetables was perfectly contenting. And it was fun because I then started recognizing other sounds. There were birds outside the house that I could hear inside my house that normally I would have noise drowning that out. And that gave a sense of peace and calm.
Absolutely.
And when I was in that state, I see with much clarity answers to questions that I have.
Yeah.
Much clarity. It's exhilarating.
Yeah, because you're vibrating in what we call the vortex, right? So you're at your highest vibrational area for now. And that does allow you to see things differently and see things clearly. It's like, I don't know if you ever heard a musician talk about music. The music really comes in between the notes.
Yes.
Right? So our awareness becomes in between our thoughts. And the more you can space out those thoughts and give yourself that break and that time is where the clarity comes from.
It was funny. I was talking to one of my my mentoring clients, and we were talking about the fear of silence. When you're having a conversation with someone and all of a sudden there's this silence, people throw up their lives in that silence. And I had a boss like that. I'll never forget his name. His name was Michael. I won't mention his last name because his family still lives around here. And he was a great boss, but he would do this awful thing that in my 20s, I didn't know what to do with myself. And you would start throwing up anything. You would start talking about, and you'd, give them all kinds of information.
Talk,
it was just like I don't feel comfortable. So let's fill this blank air with something. And one day I walked in and I said, you have to explain why you do that. And he goes, well, what am I doing? And he says, I said, well, you have these large periods of silence. He goes, oh, I'm just processing and thinking. And in the process, what ends up is you throw up your life on me. And I usually gain other information that I normally wouldn't have, which is the upside of me just processing. But I'm not doing it with any, negative expectation. Right. And I said, so if you can embrace that silence and sit there while you're having an interview, or sit there and let the other person think, you'd be surprised what happens in that time period in that space, in that air. So that good point that you have about leaving space in between the different thoughts is beautiful. And as a musician and singer, I know what you mean about the music being in between the notes.
Right. And
it's all about that.
That's why music makes the world go round, right? We hear the music in between the notes.
Well, yes, because it doesn't matter what language you're speaking. The emotion of whatever you're communicating is captured in the notes that you utilize and the phraseology of those notes. And so, that's a methodology of communication that is almost nonverbal.
Beautiful.
Almost nonverbal. You are listening to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne Casdia, and we are speaking with Craig Colasanti. He is our radical change coach and just came back from a wonderful retreat. So more about the vortex. Tell us more. I can't get enough information from you. I want to go. Because you talk about vibrating. You are just like, your aura is huge right now.
I just feel so calm and so peaceful. I've really never reached this level in my life yet. So it was just nice to get there and to stay there, because I'm still connected with the people I went. And usually, you go on a retreat or you go to let's say an Anthony Robbins seminar for, 4 or 5 days. And then 3 months after that, it kind of fades, Well, I'm still connected with the people I was with. So we constantly talk, we constantly share ideas.
Yeah.
So the energy is staying with us all, So that's the key to it.
My visual of you right now, what I'm seeing and feeling from you is this serene contentment. With that,
that's a great word. Yeah. That's a great phrase.
I just see that. That's what I'm feeling. When I saw you walk in, I was like, oh my gosh, can I have some of what he has? I need some of that drug.
Well, I'm staying here as long as I can.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful.
You get a lot thrown at you. I came home to a storm. There's a lot going on. I have people who are sick that are close to me and things like that. And I was able to just handle it so much easier and so much more relaxed in handling all those things and helping people. And, I enjoy helping everybody. So I just was able to do it on a level that I normally get myself a little worked up over. And I really wasn't even worked up this time. So it's definitely to me, the next vibrational level that I wanted to go to. I knew we were going to do a lot of vibrational work and a lot of energy work. I did not expect to get this depth of healing that I got while I was there. Because I got a spiritual, emotional, physical, everything healing. So there was so much going on. Those
are my 3 pillars. I talk about it all the time. My 3 pillars for mentoring. And that's what we hit when we talk is healing all those levels, if you will, within yourself. And I can see it. I can just see it. And it's just so good when you have that. That's why the vibration is important, and giving yourself time, taking time for yourself is so important. And I know it's difficult to do. It's like when I had children, small children. I still have children, but thankfully, I didn't disown you guys. The doctor would say to me, well, if you're not feeling well, you need to rest. Yeah, okay. Who's going to be running after the 2-year-old? Just wondering. Coming over? Because I'll be more than happy to have you.
Exactly.
But you really, this is a little different. You have to find that time in the morning, that time in the afternoon, and you'll find that you work it into your schedule. And I tell a lot of people, what I do is I actually write it in my schedule. That's how it became a habit. I put it in my schedule as if it was a to-do, as if it were an appointment. This is the appointment. It just happens to be for me.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Happens to be for me.
Make it an important part of your life. A lot of people don't take the time to make that an important part of their life. Yeah. They'll take the time to go to the gym. They'll take the time to work out, which is important. But they don't take the time to do the personal work, which is where the true joy and happiness comes from, right?
Yeah.
And my goal as a coach is to help people realize that and figure out who, number one rule in coaching is know thyself, right?
Right.
So you teach people to know themselves at a level they never knew themselves before. And that opens up a whole nother world for them, and that's the perspective we coach from. And it is life-changing.
Yeah. Well, and hence why you're the radical change coach. That makes sense. I just put it together. Look at me.
No, Lori, that's great. That's great stuff.
No, you really put that out there. You really communicate nicely with who you mentor and bring them on that journey, and you go with them.
Yeah. You have to step into their shoes. A lot of coaches coach from a perspective of I'm going to teach you, and that's not it. When I coach, I want to get into their lives. I want to get into their shoes and see how they see life, because I don't see life the way my clients see life. So if I'm able to jump into their shoes, see life from their point of view, then I can help them.
Right.
And then and only then. And if I didn't know myself as well as I know myself, I wouldn't be able to do that for others.
Yeah.
And that's all part of the, living in that vortex,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I just, I absolutely am envious of you at this point, because I would love to vibrate at the level you're vibrating.
You're vibrating way up there. I can see it. So,
you had mentioned something too about the clarity through the work and doing the work and being able to handle the storm that got thrown at you. Let's talk about that, because I understand what you're talking about. I handle things differently depending on where I am. And I know that when I'm not doing my meditation and I'm not doing my work, I handle it almost not as bad as the old way, but almost like the old way. Now things like that are just, okay, next, bring it on. Let's look at it. Let's handle it. Let's move on. And I've always been known as the fixer, but now it's at a different level where I don't become energy and emotionally involved in it.
That's the great place to be, because you don't take that on then.
Yes.
And you damage yourself. But you brought up a phenomenal point. You said
good.
when you don't do the work, you feel the difference. And I say this all the time. I say this to clients. I say this to friends. People call me up. I'm struggling here. I say, okay, so what are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? Well, have you meditated today? Have you journaled? Have you written? Have you scribed? Have you did my I am phrases? Have you done any work? No. I said, okay. So there's ground number one.
Yeah.
That's ground zero. You haven't done any work. So what do you expect to get better if you're not even vibrating the right way?
Well, it's fuel. It's like eating every day. We eat so that we put fuel in our body so that we have the energy to do it. Same thing with our meditation and our habits is fuel for our body to be able to handle what's incoming.
Yeah.
Because it's coming.
Yeah. And make time for yourself. Make time. The excuses, I get it. We're busy. We got kids. We're running around. I don't have time. I'm telling you, 10 minutes can be life-changing.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
I say that at the end of the show every week, peeps. Got to take time for yourself.
Absolutely.
Got to take time for yourself. And by doing so, help everyone understand what it does. Help them understand.
It just sets your day. Like I do it in the morning. I get up an hour early every day. Let's say I have an 8:00 meeting. I'll get up at 7. If I have 7:00 meeting, I get up at 6.
Well, you're also a guy. You have 5 seconds to get ready. I hate you.
All right. So for women, do an hour and a half. So you have a half hour to get ready.
Takes us that long for the hair alone.
But no matter what it is, I fit into my schedule like you do, an hour a day for myself, no matter what.
I literally schedule it.
And I do 10 minutes of 6 different things. I do 10 minutes of each every day, and it sets my day in motion. I am just in a different place when I come from there. Yeah. I'm much happier. I'm much more grounded.
I'm better.
I'm better. I'm ready to accept things that are being thrown at me in a different level, like you said. And
I'm more in my observer than I am in my ego when I come out. And that is important. We've spoken about that before.
Different lenses, yeah.
Really big lenses, really big lens change. And being in the observer allows you to not take things personal and to hear it the way it's intended, as opposed to ego, where you're hearing it the way in the position that you're in and what you're thinking about yourself. That we were talking about a mutual friend of ours who is in that place where they're just receiving the information in a different level, not the intention that it's thrown out there.
Absolutely.
So being in your observer, I think, comes from also doing the work.
I agree with it. You're not, people tell me all the time, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. Okay, good. Add to it if it's not working, or take away something that's not working for you.
Right. And because you feel the difference.
That's it.
That's all we can say is because you feel the difference and only you know.
That's the key.
And you could tell us as mentors all that you're doing and not be doing it. That doesn't hurt our day. Doesn't change our vibration.
That's right.
You got to do the work.
It's up to you.
Got to do the work. And quite frankly, truth be told, we know if you're doing the work or not.
We'll sense it.
We know. We just know. So you could try, so how can people get in touch with you? Because you are a phenomenal mentor. You're a phenomenal radical change coach.
I appreciate that.
And now after this, I mean, you're just on fire, and I hope you have time for new clients.
Absolutely.
Too.
We have a team. So no matter what, even if I can't help, somebody on my team can. But you can go to radicalchangenow.com. Get in touch with Coach Sam. She'll give you a free session session, coaching session, to find out where you're at and then determine if you do want to coach with us or not. Also, you can call me directly, 516-860-7889. Leave me a message, because I do have conference calls I'm on every week. I have different places I have to be where I can't be on the phone. So leave a message and I will get back to everybody.
And you will. You always do.
Absolutely.
Outstanding. I love having you on, Craig.
I love being here. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too,
You look
honey.
amazing.
Oh,
keep up the great
you.
work for everybody, because it's people like you that get the message out.
I appreciate it. You keep up the good work and get one person at a time to be in the right direction.
You got it.
Vibrate higher. And we will be right back with the second half of our show. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas on the topics you'd like to hear more about, please email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. That's healthylifestylewithla, that would be me, @gmail.com. And follow us on social media at Healthy Lifestyle with LA. This afternoon, we have our wonderful, beautiful friend, Liz Martin from Hands On Acupuncture and Massage in Stony Brook. And we are here to talk about empowering women, and she is a powerful woman. How are you, Liz?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here again. This is awesome.
Glad that you're here. So you're out there. You're always so inspiring. I know I say that when you're on all the time, but I truly, deeply mean that. You really lift people up, and you had shared a book that I absolutely love, which is Start With Why. And from there, you just ricochet from there. You know, you just cast it forward from there. What a great book! But you really empower everyone, not just women. But specifically, I see. I watch the faces in the room when you're speaking, and I see that you're a definite role model, and that from that, without you even realizing it, you are helping women and men in that group just propel forward because you inspire them so much. Do you realize you do that?
I guess I didn't realize to that level, but I appreciate you looking and seeing and supporting me through that. You know, I have a love for Chinese medicine, and I've realized I've been figuring out how to connect the dots that the universe has been providing me. And, you know, I just tell my story, what I've been through and why I love Chinese medicine so much. So it was really interesting, you know. So what Lori Anne is referring to is I do a LaTip meeting.
Yes.
So, and she's part of that. So she gets to see me with my speaking, and it's a business oriented thing. But I recently just shared about my life. I went pretty deep on, you know, my childhood wounds and, you know.
Big courageous jump. I was really proud of you because it takes courage to share deepness, the real depth of who you are. Generally, we do that in a very exclusive, and you pick and choose who you share that with. And you just went full out. You just totally
I am who I
did.
am. This is who I am, you know, and I've been doing a lot of healing myself. And I just like to inspire others, especially women and moms, because I've realized is that people don't feel that they can do what they want to do because they're a mom or because they're whatever,
Sure.
or because of whatever blockage they have, because this is not what my family did, so I shouldn't do this, you know, or my family is bankers or my family is teachers, so I should be a teacher. You know, I'm really all about highlighting people's strengths and abilities. Yes. And it's so simple to do that with Chinese medicine because we categorize people in a way where, you know, where it'll highlight their strengths and weaknesses because we all play a role in the humanity. So
and all of our growth, we help everybody that we touch. It's an old Indian philosophy, and I'm Native American. I have a little Native American in me. I'm
That's
Iroquois.
Awesome. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and there's an old philosophy where you can do anything you want in the world, and it's like taking a whip and you whip it around, and as soon as that tip of the whip just grazes somebody else, you're responsible for how you impact them. And that's what we do every day. We just don't need to swing a whip because we're really close together. But what we do every day does impact other people. And we have a choice of making that a good or bad impact. And so just like Chinese medicine, you know, that's important to find people's strengths. And I know as a mentor like you, bringing people's strengths, making them stronger and firmer, but looking at their weaknesses and getting those to become strengths. All of a sudden, you see there's a whole elevation of that individual.
Well, there's a reason why we're in society. I mean, we all, if we didn't have builders, we wouldn't have houses. If we didn't have, people working on the internet and we wouldn't have technology. Right. So like, we can't do it all.
Right.
That's why our strengths, our gifts. Stories, our gifts are so important. And I think a lot of people don't know what their strengths are. So I love helping people find their strengths.
Yes.
So not even just within society, but I do it within my practice as well. Like I have a team of a great team. And what I love about it is that we're all unique in our own way and we all bring something to the table. And I love putting people in a position where they absolutely love the project or whatever they're working on. So I think I've done a pretty good job with kind of highlighting what everybody's strengths are within my team, but also within my patients. So that's what I love to inspire people to live their dreams, and find their place in the world. Yeah. And there's a way you can do that through Chinese medicine. So that's why I love connecting those things and sharing my story, because you are who you are because you help others. You can't be in this world without other people's strengths and abilities.
True. And through it, we have to remember we're all flawed. We have to remember every single one of us have a past, some of which we like and some of which we don't like, some of which were our choice and some of which was not our choice. But we had to learn how to adapt and then take those tools and move forward. And we're constantly in a forward direction, or should be in a forward direction. I was just saying to Craig earlier that, when I went to Australia, I had always been on a journey. But when I went to Australia, when I was standing on that beach, that was the moment of demarcation where I started this journey. And it was just exhilarating. And ever since then, the people who have come into my life, like yourself, are just so powerful.
You meet
empowering.
Your soulmate people. Those are the people, your friends, your soulmate friends, your soulmate clients, your soulmate, patients. You really do. Once you start really sharing who you are.
And the people who don't serve you drop away, and the people who you need show up. Yes. They just show up. And you were talking about before, being a mom, and you can't be a mom and this or whatever. And it's funny because I just had a conversation with one of my dear friends and mentoring her. She said, well, can I do this? And I said, well, let me ask you this, because she has a lot of different goals. And I said, well, why not? Are you a mom? Are you a sister? Are you a daughter? Are you an aunt? Yeah. Are you a wife? That's and true. She goes, yeah. And I said, well, why can't you be a book writer? And why can't you be a mentor for children? And why can't you do this, that, and the other thing? And she was like, oh, never looked at it that way. We're brought up to focus on one thing and one thing alone, but we're not one thing.
Right.
And that one thing changes. When I started my business, I started at one point and now I'm totally in a different direction.
Right. And you find clarity in what you're doing too. And when you're more bold, like me sharing. So I shared in front of a group of 70 about, my father molesting me, right. and then the patterns that related to that with relationships. And, I don't want people to pity me, but to use their story, other people have gone through things in their lives. Yeah. I'm sorry if I said that.
No, that's all good.
So, but the thing is, the lesson is that you need to take a lesson from that and figure out how to use those things that happen in your life and use it as a strength, because of those situations that led me to Chinese medicine and healing myself emotionally and being able to heal others and having that understanding of adversity that people can go through.
Well, you can relate better because you've had adversity. It's hard to, when somebody talks to you, you're like, well, they don't understand because they've never had that experience. You can't, you can relate, and you can traverse different types of really traumatic situations. You can traverse it. It doesn't have to be the exact traumatic situation, but you could definitely have an understanding of it and be able to guide and help them turn it into a strength, because that's what we choose to do. There are days I go, I don't even know how I'm standing after some of the stuff I've been through. Right. I'm sure you've had that feeling. It's yes. You look back, because we don't have a propensity to look back because I'm afraid of what I'm going to see.
Right.
But when you do look back, you go, oh my gosh, And here I am.
Well,
so yay us.
Exactly. Good job. Yeah.
Yay us.
You know, and every day you're peeling the layers. When you do start to do your healing journey, you peel back these layers of things that came up. And, you know, and to be honest, I never thought, I was such a shy girl. Like I never pictured myself doing vlogs or being on the radio or, you know, posting anything on the internet, like on social media. It's nuts that I'm here now, but through my healing, this is actually helping me heal, is by exposing my truth. And I feel like even just sharing that other day with, you know, my story, things have, you know, it's like momentum, and I feel like it's so exhilarating.
It's freeing, right?
It's freeing.
Yeah.
Like,
and I see a huge difference between when you shared that story and today.
Yeah, I'm like,
totally different woman. Yeah. And I mean, you know, you were amazing before, but totally different woman. There's a vibration, a glow about you and it's a freeing. It's you're free.
It's healing.
And it is healing. And whenever we share those things that we're holding deep inside, that stuff weighs us down. It's like it's a bad example, but it's like eating rocks. You know, all that stuff is just, everything is weighing down and you can't move. And then after a while, you feel like that rock guy.
You just regurgitate it.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're done.
You throw it out. That's why you're supposed to feel your emotions. We have a propensity in this society to push our emotions down. We're taught, push your emotions down. Don't cry.
Right.
Don't get upset.
Yeah.
You know, all these phrases of, okay, I got to push it inside. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. After a while, you run out of room.
Right.
You know, your RAM gets full. You got to dump it.
And what you don't realize is that you're creating internal sickness.
Yes.
So if you're not sharing, you know, people that, it's really interesting to see, like when people develop heart issues or breast cancer, or, you know, because they're holding in their emotions, you know, and it ties in with Chinese medicine. So the heart has to do with how you express yourself, your passion. If you're constantly working in a job where you're not passionate, those are those people that get the heart attacks. Yeah. You know, or if you're somebody that is not expressing your sadness from the grief of losing someone, and you're just saying, I'm okay, I'm going to keep going, and you don't actually fully express those emotions, they literally get trapped inside you. Yeah. And they create different stories, and they prevent you from doing certain things in your life and create sickness. That's what I love Chinese medicine, is that we're able to discover those things and help people to release those emotions. Because life would be boring if we just had a happy or a sad emotion. Like, you're meant to express, you're meant to have emotions.
Well, to appreciate the happiness, you have to understand sadness, and to appreciate good, you have to unfortunately understand bad. That's the yin and the yang
what life
of it.
Is. Yeah. Yin and yang. So that's
yang,
why you should fully express things when, you know, acknowledge the emotion and let it go.
You're listening to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne Casdia. We are speaking to the great Liz Martin from Hands-On Acupuncture and Massage. And we're talking about expressing emotions. And again, you know, when I went to Australia and that was that pivotal life turning, it was the difference between turning on my light. That's where I turned the light on. That's where it happened. That's where it was the difference between walking through life and feeling life and enjoying life and seeing the beauty in everything and moving on, like you were talking about, through Chinese medicine and through Eastern medicine. I've always had a propensity. I got certified in herbology. I got certified as an aromatherapist. That's right. Back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, when it was like, okay, don't tell anybody. My kids used to refer to me as the witch because I was always like brewing stuff, literally.
Voodoo.
Yeah, all that voodoo stuff. And, you know, it was at the stop sign, which is about 4 houses away from my house. A friend of mine stopped in the house and went, I could smell what you're doing from the stop sign. And I was just like, all right. But
you.
Yeah, yay me though.
You've always been you.
It's great. True. It's true. Well, not always. I've kept it really harnessed because of different jobs that I've been in, and I don't have to do that anymore. And I choose not to, and I encourage people not to do that because it was making me sick. Like you said, I felt the illness. I don't feel ill anymore. I haven't had a colitis attack in years. There's reasons for that. I was holding all my energy and emotions down in the intestinal area, and I won't get into graphics, peeps. But it you know, all that stuff was held in because I wasn't.
You were a worrier, so worry is earth, which is stomach, spleen. So you worry if you over worry,
and that's such a senseless, useless energy. My goodness. Because it doesn't change anything. No. It just makes you sick, basically. Exactly. And it's about change. So it's about seeing that you can change things. And I see that you do that every day through your practice, through speaking. Speak a little bit more about the Chinese medicine and how you get to someone's purpose. Because I see you do that.
Well, through Chinese medicine, there are certain patterns. When we're diagnosing patients, we're looking at your tongue, we're feeling your pulse, we're asking specific questions. We make diagnoses based off of Chinese medicine. So in Chinese medicine, there are 5 elements, and then there's the yin and yang of things. There's heat, cold. There's many different patterns that we can formulate in order to see what kind of blockages are in a specific person. So the way that we can figure out the blockages that are happening in someone's life is we can identify those patterns. So like with you had stomach issues. So the pattern that is associated with that's the earth element. So you probably had stomach issues with, your bowel movements and everything, but you also were probably somebody that's an over-worrier. The emotion behind the wood element is somebody that maybe has eye issues, but the emotion behind it is anger. So if somebody has anger and they internalize that, that can be presented. But you can through the work of Chinese medicine, through acupuncture, herbs. There's also a technique I do called NET, which is called neuro-emotional technique.
Yes.
Where we can identify which emotions are being blocked and the story that you create behind that blockage. I could talk for hours about it, but
and so you should.
Yeah.
And so you will.
I will. Yes.
Because you're going to have a book come out next year, and I'm excited to read that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
We're going to have a book coming next year. We're working on it now. So
Nice.
I'm excited. But
that's good. You need to get this out to as many people as possible, and that's the best way to do it. Be able to communicate that way, and the finding what your purpose is just exhilarating, and to be able to help other people. And you know me, you know how I feel about this. We are here to serve each other,
absolutely,
and as best as we can, and just try to elevate our vibration and not worry about the things that just you can't change anyway.
Right.
So I'm sure people have heard about you have to really focus on things that you can change. The rest will go where it goes.
The only thing you can change is yourself.
And how you handle it.
How you handle it, because you can't change certain scenarios that happen.
Right.
You can learn from them.
Yes.
And
well, that's why we have them, right?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be learning from the people who come in to our lives, or to reflect ourselves back, and we need to learn from that. And then scenarios that we're handed, it's to provide us with tools and to learn from it.
Right.
So if it's in front of you, my question always to myself now is, okay, what am I supposed to learn here? Because I'm not happy. So what am I supposed to learn? And while you're looking for that, you change from your
picture.
Instead of being myopic, you're right, Liz. You look at the big picture, and also while you're looking at it, you jump out of your ego and you look from your observer. When you're in your observer, you really can see what it is you're supposed to see. And it changes the whole dynamics of that, air quotes, bad situation.
Yeah.
It no longer is a bad situation, because you're looking at it going, oh, I'm supposed to learn this. Okay. And then you have, it's an action. Then you have an action item.
Well, I think, to highlight that, like once you speak your truth, once you know who you are and the experiences you've been through, things come easier. Like you just are attracted. You have this vibration about you where you're attracted, and people are attracted to you with the same mission.
Yes.
Yes. Us as an example, you kind of just, when you live who you are, and you find those people that have those same mission statements, and those same qualities. Yeah. So
look at you! You're vibrating. You got people surrounding the studio watching
very interesting.
you. I've never seen this before. Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really is. I like it. It's really good.
Yeah.
No, it's wonderful, and I always love having you on. I hope to have you on again. I really want to speak more about going out, empowering women and men. Quite frankly, you empowered a lot of those men in that room. I have to tell you, I watch, like I said, I watch people. That's my marketing in me. Right. And I love to watch and see how people are reacting to things. And you really deeply affected in such a positive way everybody in that room. And I'm so proud of you, because that was like I said before, very courageous to stand in front of a group and just share yourself. And having done it recently myself, it's really courageous. It's also very freeing.
Yes.
And you know what? It is what it is. You are who you are. Everything that's happened in your past make you who you are today. And you, my friends, are a brilliant, magnificent human/woman. And I say human because that's a compliment, huge compliment, because you have the humanity of, many societies right embedded in yourself. And I can see how you just...
Like knows like. So that's why I'm here, right? You're a reflection of me.
If that's the reflection, then yay me. Because you're just...
Thank you, Lori.
You're outstanding, really. And I watch everybody in your business and your practice, and they are also kind, wonderful souls who truly just want to help other people in such a positive way. You bring this aura with you of calmness, and I love it. I love being around you. It's like, let me have a Liz moment, because it's a calming thing.
Thank you.
It's a calming thing. Oh, I see Christine. Hi, Christine.
Christine.
So with that, I want to invite you back, as always, to come back and let's talk more about this.
Yeah, I would love to.
Go visit you at Hands-On Acupuncture Massage in Stony Brook.
Yes.
They can reach you if they want to make an appointment and come talk to you.
Yes, and check out my vlogs. I've been doing those vlogs to just show people what we're doing.
And online, they can do this. You have to get this. You have to go. The element quiz, because it finds out who you are, what you need. It's really helpful in the process.
Yes.
I want to thank you again for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle. My heart is lifted by sharing this time with you. I want to thank Liz for being on, Craig earlier. I want to thank again my wonderful, with a new haircut, Brian, our producer. And of course, all of you. In the meantime, join us on social media. Email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. And as always, remember, do a little something for yourself every day. It starts there. Create the habit. Create the new balance. Thank you for joining us on Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne Casdia. Until next time, show up and show up big.